Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Demko Modelworks. This will be part 3 or 4 of our Enterprise C, the USS Kestra buildup. But before we get to that for this evening, sorry it's been a while. I had to take a couple of about a week off. It rained real bad in my shop, and the roof started leaking, and I started having leaks everywhere, and so I had to shut it down for a while until everything got dried out. But anyway, today finally got back to work on a lot of things. This is the 537 Reliant from Ed Lamb, my client Ed Lamb. Been working today. Excuse me. Been working today on the roll bar and the photon launcher. Been wiring in all the LEDs for all that. Got it all done, and I have it wired into the system, and we'll take you through that here in just a second. Let me turn the power on. You can see she's lighting up real nice and pretty still. I'll be glad to see this one done all the way and get it, get everything done and together, and all the painting. The one problem I had with the rain and stuff is I had my box sit in a certain position where it normally does not rain or drip, doesn't get wet in here, and all my decals for the top got ruined for the rain. So I'm waiting on some decals from my buddy Cameron and Cameron Lewis from Cameron's Decals and such. So once those get here, we'll be able to put all that stuff on and get the red put around the pinstripe, put around the impulse crystal back there, get the red stripes on around there, and get the red stripes put here, and then around the BC deck. Got a little bit of touch-up paint to do around the BC deck here, the gray, and then again I still got to do the Aztecing for around here, so I forgot all about it. And then we can go through and start putting on our little beads that we're using for the phaser banks, and then we can go through and start laying in our lettering and everything. So I still have some seam work to do around the edge of it. We're getting that all taken care of and everything, and then some touch-up paint. So, but onto the roll bar now. I'm not going to be able to show you, front and back, but it's going to fire this one, then this one, then this one, then this one. So I'm going to only be able to hold, push the button and show you, 3 of them. Let me see if I can do this without, let me set the camera down where you can see it. I'll fire the front 2 first, and then then I'll turn it around and show you the other one. So here we go. Let me do that again. So there you have it. So that's all working now, and still have to work on I've got to work on the upper piece here that goes on here. I got the LED put in, and the resistor put on, and that little piece that goes over the back. Just got to do a little bit of seam work on that. I'll do a little bit of that tonight. And let me turn this off real quick. And then we can get that assembled tomorrow. And before I put this on, I'm gonna do my my touch-up paint before we put this top piece on. Sorry about that, guys. I was out of shot. Before I put this top piece down on top of there, I'm gonna go back through and use my spray can and sand this off, and then do the touch-up paint there, and then we can put it down, and then I can take this stuff off here, the bulkheads there, and do the touch-up paint around the edges and whatnot. We'll see how well that goes. But last time, you remember, I had my working on the nacelles, and I had getting ready to start Aztecing them today, and I decided to check on everything, and I hooked them up to my power supply, and lo and behold, some of the stuff wasn't working. I had the strobe wasn't working, and that was pretty much the only thing on this one. Of course, I was sitting there looking, and I couldn't figure out why this side wasn't lighting, but this side was. And come to find out, on the inside, I forgot to open up the area, take the paint off in that area for the LED to shine through for the registry number for the Raytheon. So but this one's working now. Both of them are working. This one here, I had to go through, and the front LED was not working. It had a little bit of a short in it, so I was able to pop this off and pop this, this one side off and resolder it, and and then the check the LED, the strobe on this one wasn't working. So I had to go through there and do quite a bit on this one, but I got it all fixed, got it all put back together, sanded and stuff, and I've got go back through and put on a couple of more coats of the paint, the base coat, and then they'll be ready to go for the Aztecing tomorrow. So we're going to take care of that. So but here in just a second, I'll show you the diagram for this. I mean, here's the LED 1 and 2, or 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4, and you can see that these two, 1 and 2, doesn't require resistors, but 3 and 4 does. So a lot of times Ralph's boards will come resistored, and there may not be enough. Sometimes if you see the resistor, it's because there's not enough power. There's not enough room for it to be resistored on the board, so you have to add an external resistor on it. So, but that's what the layout of the board looks like. So we got all that mounted in the ship and ready to go. So but right now, let me get you, I'm going to take get all this out of the way, and let me set up for the Enterprise C, or the Kestra, and show you what I've done today on it. And we're going to take you through a little bit on painting the one side, the main body and stuff. Probably won't be able to do all of it tonight because of the paint and everything needing to dry. Have to do this kind of in light coats with this type of plastic that we're using. So anyway, let me get set up for that, and we'll be right back, guys. Stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome back. Now we're set up to do show you about the side panels here. What we're going to do, let me zoom in and show you what I've been doing, and make sure you're in good shot. But what I've been doing now is, what I did today is I went through and painted the side panel of the secondary hull, and the neck. You can see I used the let me find my paints here. Alright, I believe I've got the two that are most empty, but use what I did is I taped all this off first, or all the way around, and then I used the darker blue. I sprayed the entire bottom side blue, and then let that dry, put another coat on there, and then let that dry again. And later on I went through and used this little bitty tape. You can get these rolls of tape. They come in a pack of 3. You can get them at Michael's, or your Hobby Lobby, I believe, carries them, or Hobby Town, or any of your local hobby stores carries these. It's made by Testers. It's a 3-pack, and this is out of the 3-pack. This is the smallest one. So you use the smallest one to put tape over these lines right here, and you get these results once you get it done. And it turned out really well. So now I can go back through and mark out, start scraping out my windows. And what I use, what I suggest is, I don't remember where I got these. I think I got these at Harbor Freight. You can find these, of course, at your local hobby store as well. But I use these for my These work really well for scraping off the windows on these clear kits. Or if you don't want to use a regular knife, you know, your regular hobby knife, you can always use these, and these work really well. There's some that are just a hook. Works really well on some of the things, and I like this one in particular. Let me get it in my hand. Let me get it in the shade, but let me bring it up here closer to you. But it might not focus, but it's got, you know, a longer outreach hook and then a little short hook at the end, which works really well. And then the standard, just the regular hook on this one. Let me get it into my hand. There you go. You can see that. Let me bring that other one back up here and show you. Let me see if it'll. You might be able to see it. I don't know, but there it is, right there. You see that other little hook, and then you have just a straight one. I think this was a pack. This comes in a pack of 4 for like $5 or so. I don't remember where I got these. I think these came from my Hobby Lobby. Well, I can't think now. The Hobby Town. So we'll be ready to start scraping off the windows soon on this, and this will be ready to go. Then we can start laying our lights on the inside. Probably I'll more than likely, since there's not a whole lot of room in here, since there's not a whole lot of room in the secondary hole to bring in a light, LED on the side and whatnot, I will probably mount the LED light strip down here on the bottom. I may not be able to do a whole lot, or I may even be able to mount it way up in here on the corner, one on each side, just enough to where it has light bouncing back and forth. So, but all right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this piece here. Let me back out just a little bit. We're going to take this the port side here and get it masked off, and use this. What I'm using is this blue vinyl tape. You get this stuff from your local automotive paint supply, automotive detail shop, stuff like that, where they sell paint. And this is the 1/8 inch, I believe, or 1/16 inch vinyl masking. Works really well for curves, and it bends. I've used this stuff now for quite a while. You might have seen Boyd Crompton over at TrekWorks use this stuff, and it works. Works really, really well. So let me get this taped off. Like I said, probably won't be able to go through tonight and do the cross. The crossbars tonight, and we'll have to see how that goes, according to what we're going to. See how according goes to how the paint dries. So, and what I'm doing is I'm staying just the opposite side of the crease. Scissors here. Just cut it off. Like I said, this stuff is real good. It runs about $11 a roll. That's some that was. Sorry about the noise too. I had my air conditioner going in here. It started getting stuffy. There we go. Alright, then we're going to be taping off the neck too as well, so go ahead and cut a piece off there. A lot of preparation goes into doing these models, guys. So take your time. Take your time doing it. That's one thing you never want to rush into is rushing the paint on models. I'll get this as close to the edge as possible. Sorry if I'm going out of shot, guys. Give me just a second and I'll get back in with you. Got that piece on the back side. Let me adjust the camera where you're down just a little more and I can zoom in just a little bit better. There we go. Get that tape off there. One problem about this tape, guys, is that you lose where it goes. Sometimes pull out a good little length of it. And when you do corners and edges like this, guys, you want to make sure that your tape is cut as straight as possible. Alright, got that piece set. And you can see it goes pretty fast. Now let me get this piece going right here. Alright, and then we have around here on the front to do in these curves. And sometimes I hate being left-handed, so what we're going to do is we're going to take it right there. And this is a curved curved area, so. Alright. Now what we have to do is this little piece right here, it's not wide enough for me to put a piece of regular tape over it, so what I'm going to do is just put a piece of, just a little strip, just a little bit of a strip right there. Alright, we can move that out of the way. Now you can just take our regular tape and start taping over everything else, and this will go by pretty quick. Now on this one, this piece right here, I'm going to take my scissors and cut a nice line. Got it stuck to the table here. And you don't have to cover the whole ship if you don't want to. You can if you feel the need. feel the need to. But it's not necessary. Alright, now I got this one last piece right here, and I'm going to have to straighten up my blue tape here. It slipped on me, so there we go. Alright, one more piece there and we'll be good to go. Alright guys, well there's that. Fold that over. So now we have our painted area that, the area that we're going to paint, we have it covered. So let me get my paint board and get it up here. I'm going to take my airbrush. I'm going to add just a couple of, I'm using this Model Air by Vallejo. It works really well. You have to take your just a couple of drops of airbrush flow improver. And we'll do the dark. Put just a little bit in there. And we're gonna do a test spray. Alright, so here we go. Alright. Alright, I'll get our heat gun. Give this a good dry. You don't want to hold this on or hold it in one spot for too long because it will melt the plastic. You can see it's starting to dry really well now. So we'll let that dry overnight, and we'll come back. I'll come back next time you see me. This will be done, but we'll come back and after this is dry and go through and do our lateral stripes for the side. And then once we get it together, we'll do our seam work, and I'll have to paint that little piece that goes in. We'll do our seam work. I don't know if y'all were in shot or not, but I'll say it again. Once this dries overnight, I'll come back through and put my tape over the lateral lines on the side here, and then go back through. And once we get the secondary hull together, we'll go back through and do our putty work, seam work, and everything, and do touch-up paint on that, and go from there, guys. So let me show you the saucer section now while this is drying. Let me get the saucer section. Let me back out for you. Oops. Sorry about that, wrong way. Alright guys, let me take these off. This has been setting now for 3 or 4 days. So it should be good to go. What I'm going to have to do is I realize that I'm going to have to move out of this strip, or I'm going to have to cut a little section, cut this little piece off right here to where on the inside, because it's a solid piece, it butts up to the other piece. It's going to be a solid piece, so what I'm going to do is just kind of cut it a little piece off all the way down, and make a little trench to where this I can run my wires up through. So I don't have the board mounted in, but it's ready to go. I have all this in place now, and it's ready to go. And so excuse me, here in the excuse me folks, my allergies been bothering me. So here in the next couple of days or so, I'm going to be doing the putty work around the edge of the saucer. Have my hole cut in now for my lower centrodome. Still have a little bit of still have a couple of rings I still got to paint the darker color on those, and then go through and start putting on you know, the excuse me guys, painting the phaser banks on the top and bottom, and then just a very little touch-up paint on this, and then you know, we'll start doing, you know, what we can on here. So then we'll do a clear coat on here, get it ready for decals once we get it, you know, mounted to the secondary hull and everything. So but anyway guys, well, that's it for this edition. I believe, like I said, I believe this is part 4. I'm not sure. I don't have cell phone service. They're doing maintenance on excuse me, they're doing maintenance on the tower, so I won't know until tomorrow, but I'll make sure I put up in the description the accurate one for the series. So anyway guys, that'll be it. Take care guys. We'll see you next week or later on this week with another update. Should have an update more on this, and then we'll have an update on Ed's Reliant, and go from there. So take care guys, and also want to say the contest is almost over. We have about 2.5 to 3 weeks left of the contest build. So if you're still building and whatnot, there's still a lot of time left. You have like I said, the official ending date will be June 1st. So then we'll go through and, you know, do the judging on that and everything. So until then guys, take care. We'll see you at the next video, and happy modeling everybody.